Hela is one of the most overpowered heroes in Marvel Rivals at the moment, to the point where she is very annoying to play against, and it's all because of this one thing: no damage fall off. That's right, no damage fall off, which means she can 2-tap almost anybody in the game. Anybody like Luna, Rocket, basically anybody with 250 health and isn't pumping heals like crazy, she can insta-wipe. And in today's video, I'm going to show you just how overpowered Hela is in Marvel Rivals at the moment. But before I do that, I want to hear from you guys. Who is your favorite character in Marvel Rivals right now and why? Let me know down in the comments below. Alright, now with that out of the way, let me show you why Hela is one of the most overpowered heroes in Marvel Rivals. The first part I want to talk about is of course Hela's base damage and her very limited drop-off damage. Now if you don't know what drop-off damage is, it basically is the further you get away from a target, the less damage you deal to said target. So for example, if I were to only headshot Luna up close, she would then be a 2-shot, but if I got further away, she becomes a 3-shot headshot. And of course, the further you get away, the worse the damage becomes. But you may be asking, didn't you say Hela had no fall-off damage before? And yes, that is correct. I did say that, but I say that because even with her fall-off damage being buffed from 70% to 80%, there is almost no difference. She is still an S tier hero in the game with or without the nerf. So for a Luna or a character that has 275 health, going from a 2-shot headshot to a 3 doesn't mean much. You will still have plenty of time to get that 3rd headshot off in most situations. And it still doesn't matter because even with the nerf, I still defeated Luna in 3 headshots from this distance. Now going back to Hela's base damage, it's 70 health per shot. And assuming that our headshot multiplier is a 2x multiplier, that makes our headshot damage 140 health per shot. Now you may be saying, oh, but doesn't that mean you have to hit headshots to get the most amount of damage? Yes. In order for you to have the most impact with a character like Hela, I would say that you need to have above average aim. You can't just pick her up and expect to be good with her like most characters. The amount of damage she does combined with her other abilities is what makes her such an S tier hero. And speaking of her other abilities, I want to talk about her left shift ability. Hela's left shift ability is a get out of jail free card, and she turns into a small bird that allows her to be invincible when in this form. Another character I can compare this to would be Namor with his small bubble that he gets. But unlike Namor, Hela travels a lot further and isn't an easy target to hit. You would usually lose sight of Hela while in this form because of all the other commotion going on around you. This makes her have a great escape ability and makes her more viable to play in the midline, or the middle section, or I don't know what it's called. But simply put, having good aim and this insane getaway ability together, and you get one of the most insane characters I've ever seen. You know what else is insane? The fact that 99.3% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it if you could do me a favor and hit that subscribe button to join the family. Please, so I can eat. Now let's take a look at a top 500 player called Gale. This man dropped a 46-6 game in one above all, and there's some things I want to point out that really prove my points to why Hela is just an overpowered character. Let's take a look at this point in the game right here. Gale is positioned on high ground and has a right hand peek to the unsuspecting players on the ground. This other Hela on the enemy team comes up and doesn't see Gale, and immediately gets punished with a 2-tap straight to the head, proving just how strong Hela's headshot damage is in any given scenario. Again, we have another clip here where it just shows off how much damage these headshots by Hela can do. The Sue Storm is all the way on the other side of the map, and still Hela is able to 2-tap a 250 health character across map. That is just insane, and thanks to Gale's above average aim, he's able to pull this off. If he hadn't hit both headshots, I'm sure that she would have been able to double jump away. And this is why Hela is an S tier rank hero. She can just dominate most healers and DPS characters because of how much base damage she can do, and thanks to her little drop off damage. People who play her are able to put out these 46-6 games from the back line, really. Of course, she has weaknesses like dive characters. Thanks to her little mobility and her only real getaway having a long cooldown time, she loses to dive characters like Spider-Man and Magic. But even that has a counter. By just having some pretty good positioning like high ground and taking advantage of a distracted player, she can bring a lot of value to her teammates in any given match. And that is why Hela is still, after like 3 or 4 updates to her kit, one of the strongest characters in Marvel Rivals.